Patreon. Good morning. Happy Friday to everybody. Welcome back. Alright, so you guys know I've been showing you Bitcoin off and on. It is very slowly going down. It's at 31,500 at this time. The US dollar index is at 92.7. There's a good chance it could reach an index of 93 in August. Silver at 26.19. Gold at 1,822. Alright, so as we know, today is Friday in Iraq. So it's definitely their holy day. They do pray to the east on Fridays. And it is their religious day. It's basically like our Sunday to us. So on these days, they usually have a little bit less news. Plus, right now, the Iraq did just start their election period, which was started on July 8th through October 7th. So the news at this time is a little bit lighter right now while we're going through the election period. All right, so here's an article for you. It says a government advisor reveals what Kademi will discuss on his Western tour. Remember, they told us around the end of July he'll be coming to the U.S. or Washington to discuss one item such as the troop withdrawal. Advisor to Prime Minister Hussein Alai revealed on Friday that the Prime Minister will tour a number of Western countries at a later time, while indicating that he will discuss in Washington the file of the exit of U.S. forces. Alawi said, according to the official agency, the nature of discussions Prime Minister Kademi will hold during his upcoming visit to the United States will focus on the exit of U.S. forces, with the popular trend supporting that, noting that there is seriousness on the American side in holding bilateral talks. Prime Minister is on a tour of a number of Western countries within the framework of his visits, which expanded to brotherly and friendly countries, noting that the new tour will be for the benefit of the Iraqi people. He stressed strengthening relations with Arab and foreign countries falls within the framework of achieving people's interest, noting that there is a seriousness on the part of the government to benefit from Arab investment offers, especially the Egyptian and Saudi Jordanian. Alawi added, the Iraqi people hope that there will be benefit from the comprehensive plans for Arab support and for the benefit of enabling Iraqi-Arab relations, given the depth of Iraq is Arab. And so we do know that the troops, not all of them, not just the U.S., do need to be removed for Iraq to go international, okay, and become sovereign and show the world that they have stability. That's very important. All right, so here's some news I found for you this morning. It is an anesthetic needle for the Iraqi people that is carried out selectively. This is how the most important operation for the stability of the country is described. On Thursday, the closure of corruption cases, despite the presence of clear evidence indicating that the fight against corruption is just a numbing needle in Iraq. The fight against corruption depends on clear means, and not selectively as is happening now by looking at cases without others. But there are cases that are closed without reason, despite the presence of clear evidence. The fight against corruption is just a needle of anesthesia in Iraq, and all the stolen money has not been recovered from it, despite the judicial gains in the arrest of some and the presence of complete and objective evidence of their theft of looting public money. The independent deputy emphasized by saying a selective anti-corruption process cannot succeed in eradicating a threat to the Iraqi state, adding the most important factors for the success of any campaign is to recover the looted funds, and this is what did not happen. So they're just saying that Iraq hasn't done their job in going after corruption and stolen funds. Sadr announced yesterday he might not be participating in the new elections. He might withdraw. Al-Halbusi and Hakim urged al-Sadr to renounce his decision on withdrawing from the elections. In my opinion, Sadr he's liked by the Iraqi people, but at the end of the day, he's also heavily Iranian. So I think from the Iranian aspect, that's where he shouldn't run. They need to get that Iranian influence out of Iraq. In fact, while Saddam Hussein was still in charge, Saddam wanted to kill him and have Sadr taken out. So Sadr actually went into exile in Iran. All right, so let's look at the article. The Iraqi Parliament Speaker Mohammed al-Busi and the head of the National Forces Hakim urged the leader of the Sadrist movement, Muqtada al-Sadr, to renounce his decision to drop out of the upcoming parliamentary elections. Thursday, he will not take part in the elections in October and withdrew his support from the government, distancing himself from the state at a time when deadly hospital fires and frequent power outages have angered Iraqis. Parliament Speaker al-Hubusi said there is a lot to do. Iraq needs its devoted people to fly the flag, join the forces, serve its people, safeguard its dignity, and lead it to safety. Hakim tweeted, "We urge our brother Sadr to renounce his decision to withdraw from the anticipated elections, continue the national effort, and refrain from clearing a vital and efficient popular poll from the arena. Iraq is in the middle of what is nothing short of a critical, dangerous turn. Preserving democracy and not evading it is the only way to address the shortcomings, bolster the upsides, and redress a nation aspiring to obtain a stalled and legitimate rights." So these other guys that are requesting Sadr to kind of renounce his withdrawal, they're also Iranian as well. Okay, so it would probably be good for the country of Iraq for Sadr to, just to kind of disappear and get out, withdraw from the elections, along with these other gentlemen. But Iraq does have a very heavy Iranian influence, especially a political influence in the country. That is it for our daily news, guys. I will have more news for you over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Take care and have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me.